Hey guys, welcome to Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and one thing I've wanted to do for a while now is a retrospective series focusing on software and hardware that I've enjoyed growing up or had a significant role in the world of sim racing. I've been playing racing video games for a little over 20 years now, and there have been plenty of titles I have truly enjoyed over the years. To kick off this retro racing series, I wanted to start off with the racing game that kickstarted my love for racing games in general, and that's Monster Truck Madness 2. Monster Truck Madness 2 was a racing game that was released for the PC in 1998 by Terminal Reality Inc. and published by Microsoft. There was a Nintendo 64 port in 1999 that was actually published by Rockstar Games. However, that game was drastically different compared to the PC version, so in this video I'm going to be just focusing on the PC version. Monster Truck Madness 2 featured 20 trucks and 15 racetracks, with one of the tracks being able to be unlocked by discovering a hidden location on a certain track. Iconic monster trucks such as Bigfoot, Gravedigger, and Monster Patrol are featured in the roster. Another interesting element were trucks based off of WCW wrestlers such as Sting, Hollywood Hogan, and Bret the Hitman Hart. Monster Truck Madness 2 featured plenty of improvements over its predecessor, including a visual damage engine, time of day and weather conditions, as well as the ability to drive trucks underwater. However, there was a noticeable absence in the second iteration of the series, and that was the omission of drag racing. Instead of that discipline being featured in the game, TRI replaced it with Summit Rumble, which was basically a vehicular form of King of the Hill. One downside with this new game mode, it was a multiplayer only mode. Honestly, I would have loved to just have drag racing over Summit Rumble, and I'm willing to bet I'm not the only one. Another interesting thing about Monster Truck Madness 2 was that it was one of the first PC racing games to feature support for force feedback racing wheels, and it was even included with some Microsoft Sidewinder force feedback racing wheel bundles. As a kid, I never actually had a PC racing wheel, so I would either use the keyboard or a joystick if I was feeling rather adventurous. Hey, I was 6, I didn't know any better. But even with keyboard driving, Monster Truck Madness 2 had a fun and accessible driving model. The game featured 3 difficulties, which not only adjusted the AI strength, but would also make your truck faster and more difficult to handle. However, it is worth saying that even at the professional difficulty, the AI is just bog standard easy. I'm not sure if it's because of porting over to Windows 10 or something, but it just seems like the AI is way too easy and you'll basically win every single race. A garage screen allows you to change your suspension, tires, and gearing if you want to adjust how your truck drives and handles. All things considered, it was roughly the right balance of depth and adjustability while still being quite simple. The tracks in Monster Truck Madness 2 had a great variety, featuring very different locations. However, one thing I'm gonna say is that if I'm being perfectly honest, I actually preferred the tracks from the first Monster Truck Madness title. I felt they were more iconic and had more of a lasting effect on me. Fortunately, it is actually quite easy to port the first game's tracks to the second game, so you could relive those memories in the newer game with the new features such as the weather and time of day. And that brings me to one of the great things about Monster Truck Madness 2, and that's the post-release support. Monster Truck Madness 2 featured an incredibly active modding community thanks to the game featuring an open-ended engine as well as having developer tools readily available. There are websites that you can check out which feature thousands of tracks that you can download and add onto the game. Heck, there are even a few trucks and tracks that have been released in 2020, 22 years after the initial release of the game. Now, to be fair, the modding scene has slowed down quite a bit due to fans moving over to titles such as BeamNG Drive and Rigs of Rods, but to see modding still going on for a 22-year-old title, that is a major testament to the staying power of this game. So the question is, how exactly do you get this game working on Windows 10? Well, what's a bit surprising is it's actually not that difficult. Due to this game being over 20 years old and no longer being sold, It's technically considered as abandonware, so you can go check out the link in the description to find a download link to Monster Truck Madness 2. One of the things that was quite surprising about the game though, is that there is no DRM whatsoever. If you chose the complete installation of the game, you actually didn't even need a CD to run the game. So nowadays, that means you don't have to worry about finding a no CD patch or anything like that. Also in the link in the description is a community patch which serves as a way to get the game working in high resolution and adds other elements to help bring the game into the 21st century. However, there are a few bugs and issues with the patch, with one of them being actually the dashboard in the cockpit view not working properly if you run at any resolution higher than 640 by 480. However, if you're wanting to keep the dashboard as well as the high resolution and fixes, you can use a 3DFX wrapper software such as Nglide to upscale the 480p resolution to 1080p, and that's one way it can work. All things considered, Monster Truck Madness 2 was a great racing game in 1998, and it actually can hold up surprisingly well in 2020. In terms of visuals, it's definitely dated, but in the context of a game that was released pre-Y2K, it's still rather impressive. Add in some modded trucks and tracks, and it can still look quite impressive. Monster Truck Madness 2 is a game that I'll occasionally fire up in my modern systems if I'm looking for a great case of nostalgia. The crazy thing is, I still feel like this is one of the best monster truck racing games of all time, even though it is quite old. If you even have a little interest in monster trucks, I highly recommend you try this out. So yeah, Monster Truck Madness 2 was one of the first racing games I really jumped into as a kid, and it helped me spark my love for racing as a whole. There are plenty of other racing games that I enjoyed throughout the years that I will be featuring in future videos as well. But I would also love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What sparked your love for racing? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't already. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and thanks for watching.